Hi there, beautiful souls watching. Welcome and thank you. I'm Gabrielle, retired medium in Germany, and I like to share some of my otherworldly experiences and insights. So, this one is about subterranean water veins. You may know that water is not only flowing above ground but also below ground. And in ancient times, the people were much wiser than we are nowadays. They drove their cattle onto the ground where they wanted to build their houses. And where the cattle lay down, they knew that's a good spot. Nowadays, architects and we just build cross and crisscross everywhere where we can buy some ground. And we don't know about the subterranean water veins that are flowing under our feet. And many people live in houses where there are underground water veins flowing right under their, let's say, sleeping room. And even if you think, well, it's under the ground, what does that affect me? It is affecting you because water has, like everything that is conscious, all that is conscious. It has kind of invisible bodies like we have our subtle bodies. So it is emanating above the ground, and even if you live on the 19th floor, you can still be affected by that. I came to find that out and know because my beloved deceased husband, he had a water vein flowing right through his sleeping room, and without knowing he had placed his double bed where I slept with him in that right across a water vein. And he lived there for 20 years, and in the end, when he came to know and came together with me, he developed very rapidly a sarcoma, a cancer, right in the area where the water vein was crossing his bed, the room, and it was in the hip region. We didn't know about that, but when he was diagnosed with his cancer, the sarcoma that was on his hip, we opened up. We had to because we were desperate, and we tried everything and anything we didn't know about before, and sometimes even couldn't believe or whatever, you know. When you're desperate, you open up and you try a lot. So we had a guy coming with his dowsing rods, and he said, oh, your bed is right up on this water vein, and it is even moving because when it rains a lot outside, so then the water veins underground, they grow bigger and wider, and when it's very dry, they grow a little bit smaller. But the bed was like this, and the water vein was crossing right in the middle in the hip region where we laid down to sleep. And we didn't feel anything. You can imagine this is like you would lay down to sleep in a stream of cold water, and you stay there for 7, 6, or 8 hours during the night, and the water is washing through your subtle bodies and is washing away the ether, your life force. So that is something very weakening, and with some other factors you can develop some kind of disease. Even lower back pain might be a sign of underground water or cancer as well. So after my beloved husband crossed over, I moved into another flat right across the street because I like this little small village with not too many people, and it has still a lot of green, which I prefer To be honest, I prefer the company of animals and plants sometimes much more than human company, because animals at least don't pretend, they don't lie, they take you like you are and they are like they are. So that's kind of a true relationship. So back to the point. Because I knew then about the water veins, I got the same guy and asked him, please go with your dowsing rods through my new flat and tell me where to not put my bed. And it was the same thing. This region is a little bit hilly, so there's a lot of underground water flowing down kind of under the soil from this hilly top. And there was again a water vein crossing directly through my sleeping room. And as the sleeping room was kind of planned and constructed by the architects of the house where I live in, it was more a long and small room with a window. So the window was here, and most people placed their double beds like that. So they were right in the water vein. And the guy who lived in my flat before was an old man who died of cancer. Isn't it any wonder? So I knew that from the neighbors, and I thought, okay, so what do I do now? There is not very much other possibility how to place your bed, but luckily my double bed were two single beds, so I just split them apart so that one was on one side of the window where directly the water vein was flowing underground, and the other one on the other side at the wall. And I thought, that's it. So I'm outside of the water vein, but I had forgotten about it is growing when it's raining, so I still got some influence from that. And I even knew that there is a special little tree or plant that can block the underground water flow, especially above ground in the etheric kind of invisible realm, and that is called the boxwood. So I placed one boxwood in my own garden at the side where kind of the water vein was flowing out. And I couldn't place the other one in front of the window because there was a little piece of, kind of garden that one woman in the house where I lived in, it's a house with several parties, she was caring for this little area, and so I went and asked her and told her, you might not believe me, but I know there's a water vein under this special region where everybody has his sleeping room and most people put their bed right across that. And I know that there is a plant that can help and block the water flow of the subterranean water vein. Would you allow me to plant a boxwood in that area? Well, she was a very heady woman, head people. She didn't believe me anything, and she probably thought I was crazy, but at least she said, yes, okay, you can do it. So I planted the boxwood there so that I have it on both sides of the water vein crossing through my bedroom. And a few days later, I passed by there and I saw it was gone. And I thought, oh my God, somebody dug it out and robbed it, because I heard that even on the churchyards and graveyards, there are people going there and just robbing the plants. Okay. Then, when I met her again in the staircase of the house, I asked her, hey, I planted this boxwood and now it's suddenly gone. Do you know anything about that? And she kind of furiously attacked me and said, "Oh, I didn't like it there, and I rubbed it, I took it out and I threw it away." And I was so shocked because to me, plants are living beings. And I said, "Why didn't you tell me? I would have taken it out. And why did you throw it into the junk so that it has to die there slowly for days and days? Don't you feel any compassion for a plant?" And she just carried on her typical way. "Oh, I don't believe in what you believe in," and so on. Okay, so I had to let go of that, and with some more years, I kind of forgot that. We humans tend to forget. And lately, I had a very, very nice client whom I could help in a client session. And at the end of the session, I asked her, "What's your profession, or what did you work?" And she said, "Oh, I'm a retired holistic dentist." And as I had a problem with some of my dents, I said, "Oh, that's interesting. Maybe I can ask you something and you could help me with my dent and with my tooth." Oh, it's a tooth, not the dent. Sorry, my English. Please forgive me. And she said, "Yes, yes, of course, I can test energetically." And she did that and found out that my whole system, because I was kind of furious that the dentist ruined that tooth. And then after he had ruined it, he wanted to take it out, just pull it, and then that's it. So this to me is not treatment. This to me is destruction. Okay, my opinion, you can have your own. It's all fine. And she said, "Because you keep this tooth, your whole energetic system is kind of very high up and energetically in turmoil, and you have to do something about that." And she advised me what to do. She had a special kind of medicine that was from the homeopathic branch. And I ordered that and I took it. And then while testing, it took some days, over the course of a week or 2 weeks, she said, "There is something else. There is influence of water." And then, woo, suddenly I remembered, oh, the water vein, the subterranean water vein in my bedroom that I had forgotten about. I told her and she said, "Yes, that's it. I'm testing it. I could have tested it my own with kinesiological muscle test, or maybe with my tensor, but that idea didn't even come to my head. You know, I advise my clients and other people like you watching these videos with things that I forget then for myself." And she said, "You have to do something about that. Can't you move your bed to another spot?" And I said, "No, it's impossible because of the design of the bedroom. There is nearly no other chance." And I didn't know what to do. So the next day, I was so tired because of the high frequencies. Our sun is nearly going crazy. The Schumann resonance is off chart. And I just had a little nap on my couch because I couldn't keep my eyes open any longer. And then when I woke up again, I came back with the word boxwood. So my guides or spiritual world, however we like to name that, I got input when my ego was out of the way and I had my little nap. So I thought, wow, okay, I forgot about the boxwood. So next day I went to the garden market and I bought some 2 little beautiful boxwood plants. And I put one exactly on the window pane of my bedroom, and the other one on the other end of my bed on a little desk that I have there. And I even started talking with them. And I said, "Oh, you're so nice and so lovely and so cute, and I hope that you help me." And then I suddenly heard them answer, "Yes, yes, yes, that's what we're coming for with you to your room. We want to help you. We can block the water vein." And I felt like children coming to help me, and I had this feeling like a mother with children, although in this life I don't have children, but I had in other lives. So just closing my eyes and feeling into that, I know how that feels. And I got these motherly feelings for my two little boxwoods. And since then, I'm talking with them every morning and every night, wishing them a good night and thanking them for what they are doing. And after I had placed them there, the first night, I woke up next morning without lower back pain, which I had before, and did not come to the idea that's because of the tooth or because of the water vein. I thought maybe it's my age, and I sit a lot, I don't move enough, blah, 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 what ego and this half brain that we use too much, although there is another brain and two halves make one. So if you're only driving, in the analogy of a car, only driving on two wheels and think that's the whole truth, good luck with that. I try to unite at least both brains, and quite often I'm more in the right brain, which is the female, holistic, intuitive brain that is mostly talked down by the left brain, the male rational logic, where the ego attaches and knows everything better, but in the end really does not know anything of real value and of real truth. So, okay, that was the story. And I found a solution, and I wanted to share with you because many people don't know that their houses are built on subterranean water veins, and they can't feel it, but they have some symptoms like back pain if the water is kind of crossing through their bed, in their sleeping room, in their bedroom, and things like that. So if you know how to use a pendulum or a tensor or dowsing rods, then you can find out that by yourself, by going into your bedroom and asking, is there subterranean water flow in this room? And the dowsing rods will close and say yes, if there is, and no, showing outwards, if there is not. And if they stand still in the middle, that is kind of no answer, and no answer also is an answer. And I would like to advise you, have a look at this wonderful young woman called Megan from Solar Glow Meditations. She's doing such a great job with her two dowsing rods, making videos and even answering questions from the viewers that they can put down in the comments or send her via email or any other form. And that's so interesting. I was made to stumble upon her videos, and I really like what she's doing. And as you have your hands and your arms closer to your body when you use two dowsing rods, you're not that much in the danger of a one-hand pendulum to maybe move your arm and influence it. Or even with the tensor, you can still kind of influence that because of the observer effect. When you have a special expectation that you want that truth to come out, then you're already influencing the thing, and you want to diminish the influence of yourself to falsify what comes out as the answer when you use a tool like that. So dowsing rods to me are a very good thing because you have your arms closed and you have two, and she's showing how it's working. And she also says the same thing that I got from my guides: future is not fixed. So I just advise you, have a look at her. She's doing a wonderful job, and you can learn a lot by watching her using her dowsing rods. And you can also learn a lot, if you're open to that and want to learn, about the art of questioning, because as an old saying says, the answer is already within the question. Sometimes, even without dowsing rods or any tools, you just have to listen to the question. I had one person writing in the comments, "Hello, Gabriella," even putting my name wrong. Okay, I can forgive that if it's in a hurry. And okay, but carried on. "I have some good questions for you." Who do you think is talking there? Good questions? Who's saying that? The soul would never talk like that. That's an ego, very proud of him or herself, that she or he got such good questions to throw upon me. So I didn't even bother to answer that. Sorry. I don't want to insult you, whoever wrote that. But the way you carried on, with question 1, 2, 3, 4. And number 8 didn't even have a question mark. That wasn't even a question. So you're just playing a psychological game. You want to prove me wrong, or you want to have your little play with me and whatever, I can smell that as a medium. And that's why I don't react to that. Because in the questions there came, "I don't like that they call it a game, the guides." But you are playing psychological games with me, coming with, "I know my questions are good, so now you have to come up with a better answer. And if you're not that good like I am, then you're already done." That's all that's unspoken behind all this. And to me, that's all ego. And the questions were all about, this person didn't get it because the person was coming from the brain, just from the head and from the ego. "I don't like this, I don't like that. Why do we have to incarnate and suffer? And why do we have to heal if our soul is divine?" and so on. So there's a lot of lack of knowledge and not understanding. If you know that a divine soul is a fractal of source. Everybody uses that word, but most people don't know what that really means. A fractal means you have the whole potential of source in you. But it's not realized, it's not developed, and it is only developing and realized by experience in the material world. If it stays in consciousness or in the head, it's just a potential that could be developed or not. And undeveloped, divinity doesn't help you any further if you don't develop that potential. So I'm sorry for not answering your questions, but I don't react to that stuff that is only wasting my time and my energy, and also your time and your energy. And we could do better by really using the whole brain before we start talking or asking something. And I know I'm not perfect. I'm falling into traps sometimes as well, because I'm still human and I also have an ego, but luckily not the fat, inflated, spiritually educated ego that is the worst, as my guides say. And I understand that, because that ego knows everything better and is already so holy and dressing in white and only talking of love and light, but does not get the force, the rubber onto the street. And without the proof, the test in the material world, that's my credential, it's not worthwhile anything. So That's what I wanted to share today. I hope I did not offend anyone. That's not my intention. I'm just here to share, and I know that I have an ego. I know that I have flaws, and I try to keep them out of my videos. But sometimes I have to talk about things I would rather not like to talk about, but they come up so frequently that they need to be addressed. And I sometimes do that. But I try also to keep a balance between the positive messages and the little bit of rant that comes out sometimes through me. So I hope you get something about water veins and different use of tools like pendulums or dowsing rods, which you can use for your own benefit, and check whether you have water veins, maybe crossing directly your bedroom and even through your bed. And that might be the cause of back pain or other symptoms. And if you stay on a water vein long enough for 20 years, then you can even create cancer exactly in the region where you kind of sleep in a stream the whole night without knowing it. So this is intended to help you and give you some different ideas. I hope it works, and I thank for the energy of my guides. They always infuse that, and before I make a video, I always connect with my inside and I ask for help and the right words and good energy to help you out there on your path. My intention is not to be famous or to be a master or to have a lot of viewers or clicks. I just want to share. And I know that I sometimes don't say the right words, or I'm also mistaken sometimes, and I just had to go through a few challenges, very painful, but that's why there was a little bit of silence. And now I'm back again. I'm not already through with my challenge that was so painful for me, this experience, but I'm getting better, and I wish for you that you find your way and that you find some betterment in whatever challenges you have. So, love, light, and blessings onto your path, dear souls. Bye.